Hey Paul, I'm Propagandist. Welcome back to some more reaction content. So, Lackadaisy, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of days before I recorded this, there was some interesting news on the Lackadaisy channel. They released a short sort of mini episode, Ingenue, something like that. I probably butchered that pronunciation entirely. But, you know me, I do like my Lackadaisy content. I think it's a really, adorable little animation. Thought they did a real good job on the pilot, things like that. So, yeah, naturally, I'm come to take a look at what this is. So, no idea necessarily what this one is about, but I have a feeling it's going to be a sort of skit about the younger years of some of our character members in this, just judging by the thumbnail for it. So the reason I say that is because there's an image of Ivy Pepper on the thumbnail, and it looks like child Ivy when she's a lot younger. So yeah, this must be basically a bit of a look back, in essence, on where these characters came from, maybe setting up a bit of background in preparation for sort of like a full series, just to get, perhaps get maybe viewers who are less familiar with Lackadaisy, perhaps a bit up to speed, maybe with some of who these characters are, what their kind of past is, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm kind of anticipating will be the case in this one. We'll see if I'm correct in a moment. Apologies, by the way, if my webcam sort of seems to just kind of like light up and then quickly dim again on occasion. I don't know why that is. Admittedly, the webcam I use is only like a little budget thing, so it's not the best anyway. But, sure it'll be fine and all that. Alright, let's not beat around the bush here. Let's actually get to the episode. Alright, we're in, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I have to probably try and just keep a close eye on my webcam here, because if you haven't already sort of gathered, because the day before, obviously, I released this on the channel, I probably released my Ruby Volume 9 ending animatic reaction, because I said I was going to sort of record that, and then I was going to record Lackadaisy, the mini episode, straight afterward. And during that Ruby Volume 9 ending animatic reaction, sorry, I forgot my word completely then, the webcam actually sort of slid a bit on top of my screen, and so fortunately it wasn't too bad, but it was a bit annoying and all that, so I'm just going to keep an eye on that and make sure that it doesn't do it again. I mean, not that it should do and all that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, enough of that. Allow me to say we'll start then in just a moment. This is only short, it's about 5 minutes and 16, so it's not going to be long. Without further ado, 3, 2, 1, go. I put subtitles on as well, as you can see. The Victrola.
Look at this marvel. Twin.
Ah, there you go. There's a young Ivy.
You can fit a goddamn circus in there.
You're not keeping it?
I wish. This one's for your Uncle Atlas's stable. We'll take the train back.
Oh.
You like the train.
I like when it's just you and me.
Victor! Back from the hinterlands? Killer Joe? Hey, Heartstopper.
Ruby Pepper. What happened to New Year's?
I know.
So this is Ruby,
Effie, she's,
Ivy's father.
We'll talk later.
I guess.
Atlas?
Okay, there we go. Crack a smile at last.
Now take a look at this prize. You can get her up to 70, hell.
Oh, it's you. Joe.
Mordecai.
You're the bookkeeper for the cafe?
Yes.
He's a bit more than that.
No,
Did you hurt
that's none of your
yourself?
concern.
Is it broken? Can I see it?
You are entirely too close.
What do you need the gun for if you're just adding numbers?
I subtract numbers too.
That's a good way of putting it.
Oh no, it's precocious.
Ivy, hon, I'm heading by the cafe. You want to come have a soda pop?
Huh? Maybe later. I'm talking to this guy. Heck? What you doing?
Work.
What kind of work?
Car work.
Looks real solid. Good job. all so clammed up? None of you talk. Like Mordecai with that busted arm. It's suspicious.
He fell down some
You'll
stairs.
learn eventually, Ivy.
He is a little, stupid.
Stupid?
He's not gonna like that.
Told him not to roller skate in the house.
He roller skates?
Not very well.
Did you lose your eye in the war?
No. Bad time with ice cream scoop.
No.
It's malfunctioned.
You're a bad liar. Really bad. I could teach you.
There goes Killer Joe in the background.
No, how to lie. Your jokes are bad too. Want to hear a good joke? There was a boy who ran to his ma shouting, "Mama, there's a couple of holes in my pants."
No, you have to go. It's dangerous here.
What's dangerous?
Sharp, heavy things. Tools. Go!
Yep, that's a few bullet holes. No wonder he's trying to repair it.
Boys, over here where the light's good. Miss Ivy, sweetheart, you stand right in front here. Victor, come on.
You're robbers or gangsters or something?
She's a clever one.
I won't rat on ya. If you give me a quarter.
Now who is gangster?
And that's how the picture came to be. So is that... Ah, that might be the whole thing. That was good. See, that gives you a idea, a sense of what a full-fledged animated series of Lackadaisy could end up looking like. That was awesome. I like that. Yeah, it gives a bit of... It does actually give a bit of a flavour of the characters' backgrounds, that, as expected. Love the artworks as well. The soundtrack is always pretty good on top of that. I'm just sort of letting it play out here in case there's anything else. Not that I think there will be. Oh, well, you can get standees, charms and plushes, ladies and gentlemen. Available at the Lackadaisy shop. So, yes, let us promote that, shall we? Because I think, if we want to see more Lackadaisy content, we need to support the animation studio, because they're doing a very, very good job. Alright, let's take a jump cut here, and I'll give some concluding thoughts. So there you go. Yeah, as kind of expected, it does give a glimmer of the backgrounds of these characters, because I think, if I remember correctly from the pilot, something that was kind of interesting was watching the dynamic between Victor and Ivy Pepper. So it was an interesting sort of dynamic, because of course in the pilot Victor sort of comes across as being to the sort of the let me just sort of clarify what's kind of on my mind here. To someone who maybe isn't familiar with Lackadaisy, the dynamic between Victor and Ivy in the animated pilot may sort of come across as being a bit frosty, as though Victor maybe doesn't really like Ivy, but actually that's not the case. As I'm sort of given to understand, the more I've kind of read into Lackadaisy and the more I've kind of learned about these characters, who they are, what their sort of relationships are amongst each other. It's not that they have a frosty relationship, it's more that Victor is just very protective of Ivy, so it's not really Ivy he's being sort of frosty towards in the pilot, it's more sort of his expression of disapproval at the fact she puts herself in danger, things like that. So it was interesting actually to see this mini episode, because this just adds a bit of extra characterization and a bit of extra background, showing perhaps how they met. And you definitely get a sense there that Victor actually develops an early sort of fondness for Ivy. So yeah, that was quite good. Also good as usual to see a bit more characterization of Mordecai, because everything that I've sort of heard and seen of Mordecai's character is that, he's a stone cold killer, but he's also socially awkward as hell. So, Sun Won Cho, Prose D, does a great job voice acting that character. I mean, you know, not just him, all the voice actors do a fantastic job with their characters as well. I should make that clear. What else? We actually get to see Atlas, really, or at least a little bit more of him. Still haven't heard him speak. I don't know if we ever will hear him speak at any point. But, yeah, we only ever get snippets of him, it seems. So we only really got snippets of him here. We got only snippets of him in that season 1 teaser that I reacted to a while back. So maybe we'll get to see more of him in a fully fledged series, and you know, whether through flashbacks or whatever. So yeah, it was just really interesting overall, and I really love the art style as usual. It's just very colourful, very bright, fantastic to look at. So the question also that is actually on my mind is, because we've seen Ivy's father here, Ruby Pepper, assuming that it is her father, that would be my sort of first guess. The question is, we didn't obviously see him in the pilot, or didn't have any hints about him in the pilot, so the question I have is, what may or may not have happened to him? Is he alive, or is he dead? Because if Atlas is dead, you never know what may have happened. Because the thing is, I've read a bit of the Lackadaisy webcomic in the time since the pilot, not all of it though, so there may be elements of the story that I'm not aware of, things that have been set out in the webcomic that I just haven't encountered yet. So I'm sure people could clarify in the comments for me and all that in terms of what may or may not be the case. Has there been any sort of detail on Ivy's father, quote unquote, assuming I've got that right, assuming he's not like an older brother or an older uncle or cousin or something. So yeah, I invite, of course, people's thoughts down in the comments and all that. So thanks for joining me for that little mini episode. As always, really fun, and I really want to see more of Lackadaisy. Here's hoping that, you know, that it continues to get plenty of Patreon support, plenty of backing, because Lord knows, you know, the animation team have done such a fantastic job with it so far. So it'd be, you know, it'd be a travesty if everything kind of fell through and they weren't able to sort of continue their work on it. Not that there's any indication of that, though, I should stress. I'm not suggesting that there has been anything on that front. As far as I'm aware, things are proceeding smoothly. So, which, you know, is really, really good. So, other than that, we'll wrap up here, ladies and gentlemen. Nice way to spend a Sunday morning, that. Reacting to a bit of Ruby and then a bit of Lackadaisy. So, yeah, stick around on the channel, because I've got tons of other plans for things that I want to react to, content that I want to do in the near future. In the meantime, of course, if you're not aware, my Propagandist channel is my second channel, technically. My main channel is General Red Strategist, where I do a lot of unoriginal and eclectic gaming content, so if you're into that kind of thing, there's a link to it in the video description if you want to check it out. Other than that, yeah, thanks everybody, and join me soon for some more content on the Propagandist channel, hopefully. Assuming work doesn't get in the way and all that. Other than that, yeah, I'll sign off now. Goodbye, everybody.